Well, hello. Welcome to my cabin. I've never had somebody sharing the cabin quite like you before. You can help yourself to the fresh fruit and wine over there. Sorry, I'm a little bit nervous. It's my first time travelling alone. Did you just get up on that stop there? Yes. Oh, it's beautiful. Andorra. Absolutely stunning. So, nice to make your acquaintance. Are you travelling all the way to Vienna? I see. Well, it looks like we'll be in for a long night together then. Is this your first time on the Glacier Express? Yes, it's my first time. I have been on the Orient Express. I have to say, I'm really enjoying these individual, well, not quite, dual cabins. They're very private. Much more so than my trip on the Orient Express. It's a little bit more chaotic. Anyway, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I hope this ought not to be a awkward journey for both of us. I mean, yes, I just did not expect to be sharing a cabin with you. I mean, I assumed, maybe it was terribly silly of me, to assume that all cabins would be same sex, but on this occasion, it doesn't seem like that's the case. Oh no, it's not a problem. It's not a problem at all. I just am rather taken aback by it all. As I say, this is new for me to travel alone across countries I've only ever dreamt about. I was a little bit scared though, because legend has it that the Yeti lives in the Alps. Well, so my handmaid told me. Well, that's what they say. And she told me that I ought to be very careful and make sure I pay a lot of attention to the window in case the Yeti makes an appearance. I mean, I'm assuming it's very silly for children stories, but nevertheless it makes you rather nervous. Please don't mind, or tell me no, but do you mind if I ask, why are you here on the Glacier Express? I see. Yes, well, for me, slightly different. Well, I'll tell you. My father is a diamond specialist back at home. He collects diamonds and jewels and gems, and he has a lot of connections in a lot of high places. And sometimes I must do his bidding for him, let's just say. So I have a date, well, a dinner party, to attend with the Emperor and Empress of Austria. I would like to see a collection of my father's jewels. No, they're not in this cabin. They're safely locked away, and I wouldn't even tell you if they were in this cabin. So, nice try. Okay, as long as you insist you're not going to try and rope me in my sleep, then I'm sure we will get on Quite well. You are correct. I probably should not tell strangers that. Well, I'm rather excited. I have heard that Austria is meant to be beautiful. Lots of beautiful architecture, paintings. Apparently there's going to be a little bit of a ball when I arrive. Although I'm not sure if I'm old enough for a ball yet. They're kind of becoming kind of older people's things these days. I like more of a dance than a ball. But I suppose it's what the rich and the royals do. They ball. So, do you like a ball? I see. My, you do have such wonderful eyes. Has anyone ever told you that? Makes me nervous to even look in them. I'd have brought a few things with me, you know, if we have trouble relaxing. I have trouble relaxing on transport, even in the carriages, although we now have a car back at home. One of the first, you know, a real car with a real engine. None of this carriage nonsense. Feels very trendy. Have you ever ridden in a car before? Well, you ought to try it if you can. If you ever come across to Scotland, I'll be sure to let you have a shot in my car. Well, it's not my car, it's my brother's car, but you know, apparently it's not a becoming thing for a lady to drive it. But, you know, I think I ought to be very good at it. So are you heading to Vienna as well? I see. Well, perhaps if you play your cards right, I could perhaps bring you as a date. Are you married? No. I didn't think so. I didn't see a ring. I am just playing with you though. Don't mind me. I just love the snow. Something so magical about it, don't you think? Traveling through the snow, two strangers on a carriage they've never met before. You could write it like a romantic novel and just play. But I do think it's magical. I don't often get snow at home. Only in the deepest, darkest parts of winter. But this is beautiful. Sometimes I long that the carriage would just stop and we all could have a few moments in the snow, maybe playing, building a snowman together. Perhaps we could have a snowball fight, although I ought not to ruin my hair. Maybe make snow angels. My mother would be very upset if I wrecked my fur. I do like to dream though, you know. Do you ever dream? Dream of things that you shouldn't do? Don't we all? Don't we all? I've not been particularly hungry at all today. It looks very tasty though, mind you. I know. Even looking outside this window, it is beautiful. It's a different view to this side. Been too busy looking at the mountains that I haven't seen. We've been passing little villages on this side. It's a nice view. I wonder what the people are like. Do you think they would be friendly in these little villages? Do you speak Swiss? I'm not sure if they speak sometimes in French and German as well. Apparently. So I've been told they have the best chocolate in the entire world. They have special chocolatiers that people travel all over to try and taste. I'm hard to please when it comes to chocolate, but I would like to try some. You haven't brought any with you, have you? No. Thought I would ask. Especially if you've stopped and boarded on in Zurich. It's a little bit chilly. I think looking at the snow makes me feel colder. It is nice to dream though. I am feeling a little tired. They do have beds, but I think for us it's just seats. They were all taken, but this is rather comfortable. I think yours looks comfortable as well. I think we ought to be able to rest our heads on the side, tuck our feet in the corner and fall asleep. It ought to be a pleasant sleep, I would imagine. I've heard of worse places for people to sleep, but I don't ought or want to be tired when I reach Vienna. No, that would not be good. I have to make a very good impression. I don't know if I should curtsy. Should you curtsy with an empress? Probably. I have many dresses to wear as well, but I have been told that I'm best to find the local dressmaker, well, not just local, but a reputable one, if the fashions are different in Austria as they are at home, and get a new dress made. So I might do that when I first arrive. But then I ought to see what the fashions are first. And maybe not when I first arrive. Hopefully this will be okay. It's just a black dress after all. Black comfortable dress. Oh. It's chilly. So, what I was going to say was, I have brought some things with me to help us sleep, as the transport is difficult. I have to show you this. So, a local apothecary. There's a lady, and she makes elixirs, and they have different healing properties. They're not quite like medicine, not nowadays medicine. This is choking me. It's hard to be a lady. Anyway, I was saying, they're not quite like medicines, but they do have some healing properties. And the healing properties in this particular elixir that she has given me is that it helps you sleep. I understand it's an elixir of lavender, chamomile, clary sage and frankincense. All splendid scents. And what you ought to do is you ought to spray a little bit. It's got a little pumpy thing on it. You can spray onto your pillow or your bed or perhaps your blanket, your feathers, and it ought to make you feel very sleepy. So would you like some? Perhaps we should spray some in this room. It would help us both. Okay, let's spray some on me first. And here. Okay, let me see. And then you ought to just jiggle around a little bit. Give it a little bit of a fanning, like this. And that should ought to spray it around the entire room. And then you can fall asleep. Fast asleep. It's very pleasant, is it not? I enjoy the business of making elixirs. If I wasn't in the jewel business, perhaps I would have an apothecary of my own. I almost forgot to tell you about the cabin gossip. If you ought to know, if you're not interested in gossip, that's no problem. But I thought I ought to tell you, if you've just gotten aboard the train, especially when we go to breakfast in the morning, the people in this train, they've caused me a right lot of entertainment, you know. Okay, so have your glass of wine, you'll enjoy this. So, 2 doors down, there's a cabin like our cabin, and there's a lady in there. She's a rather large lady, larger than life, I would say. She has these awful hats with these terrible feathers. I don't know what on earth her seamstress was thinking by giving her a little bit of this hat. Oh, it's awful. Anyway, excuse me, it sounds rather rude, I know. So this lady, so I've seen not just one, not just 2, but 3 different men, young men, come in and out of her carriage. And to breakfast yesterday she was looking awfully dishevelled. She ought to have a look in the mirror first before she puts her clothes back on. And I heard at the other table whispering. Apparently she's been giving eye contact to some of the young males aboard this train, especially in the lower carriages. And she's been apparently paying them money to come and stay with her for some of the evenings in her cabin. What do you make of that? I did not expect that on the Glacier Express. I didn't think they would entertain such a thing. Perhaps they don't realise, but as other passengers do realise, we think it's awfully lowly. Well, lowly is probably not the right word. That sounds a little bit. It's awfully tarty. It's just not very ladylike, but it's rather entertaining. Oh, and there is also royalty on this train as well. I don't know if you knew. Apparently, one of the sons of the prince's... No, it's wrong. The king's cousin from the United Kingdom. The king's cousin has a son, and he is aboard this train. He's in one of the top class cabins, though, one of the ones with the beds. I don't know what he's doing coming across here, but he's on the train. I've been trying to see if I can see him at breakfast, but he must have breakfast in his own carriage. Not that I would know what to do, mind you, but it would be entertaining to dance eyes with a prince or royalty. Do you come from royalty? No. I thought I would ask. I feel like I didn't ask that question to start with. Not to worry. Well, do tell me, what is your trade? I see. Okay, well, that's a wonderful trade. You must be very successful. Do you have a lady waiting for you at home? I know you're not married, but do you have somebody special waiting for you at home? No. Free to meet new people. I like it. I like it a lot. And has there been anybody on this train journey so far that's caught your eye? I see. Nobody at all. Oh, I see. One person. And who may that be? Okay, well, you can keep your cards to your chest if you wish. Well, how about... Oh, I know. Before I left, my handmaid did send me, well, she didn't quite send it, she handed me as I was running out the door, a special book with special stories designed to help me sleep, because she knows I have a very bad time sleeping on trains. And I thought I could maybe read you one of my favourite songs. There's other poems as well, but perhaps you might want to listen, and it might make us both feel a little bit more sleepy. Okay. Okay, what do I have for us? Just relax. You can even close your eyes if you want to. Don't worry, I'm not going to do anything to you. Let me see what I have. This first one is my favorite. Okay, cuddle on in. Soon, soon, cuddle and croon over the crinkling sea. The moonman flings him a silvered net, fashioned of moonbeams 3. And some folk say when the net lies long, and the midnight hour is ripe, the moonman fishes for some old song that fell from a sailor's pipe. And some folk say that he fishes the bars down where the dead ships lie, looking over lost little baby stars that slid from the slippery sky. And the waves roll out, and the waves roll in, and the nodding night wind blows. But why the moonman fishes the sea, only the moonman knows. Soon, soon, the net of the moon rides on the wrinkling sea. Bright is the fret and shining wet, fashioned of moonbeams 3. And some folk say when the great net gleams and the waves are dusky blue, the moonman fishes for 2 little dreams he lost when the world was new. And some folk say in the late night hours while the long thin shadows slide, the moonman fishes for cold sea flowers under the tumbling tide. And the waves roll out, and the waves roll in, and the grey gulls dip and doze. But why the moonman fishes the sea, only the moonman knows. Soon, soon, cuddle and croon over the crinkling sea. The moonman flings him a silvered net, fashioned of moonbeams 3. And some folk say that he follows the flecks down where the last light flows, fishing for 2 round gold-rimmed specks that blew from his button-like nose. And some folk say while the salt sea foams and the silver net lines snare, the moonman fishes for carven combs that float from the mermaid's hair. And the waves roll out, and the waves roll in, and the nodding night wind blows. But why the moonman fishes the sea, only the moonman knows. That is one of my absolute most favorite ones. There are more. See, that one made you tired already. You can see it. To sleep. A flock of sheep that leisurely pass by, one after one, the sound of rain and bees murmuring, the fall of rivers, winds and seas, smooth fields, white sheets of water and pure sky. I've thought of all by turns, and still I lie, sleepless, and soon the small bird's melodies must hear first uttered from my orchid trees, and the first cuckoo's melancholy cry. Even thus last night, and 2 nights more I lay, and could not win thee sleep by any spell. So do not let me wear tonight away. Without thee, what is all this morning's well? Come, blessed barrier between day and day, dear mother of fresh thoughts and joyous help. I do like that one. Let's see. Clouds. It's very short as well, this one. White sheep on a blue hill. When the wind stops, you all stand still. When the wind blows, you walk away slow. White sheep, where do you go? I'm gonna read that again because I like that one a lot. White sheep on a blue hill. When the wind stops, you all stand still. When the wind blows, you walk away slow. White sheep, where do you go? Winkin', blinkin' and nod one night, sailed off on a wooden shoe. Sailed on a river of crystal light into a sea of dew. Where are you going and what do you wish? The old moon man asked thee. We've come to fish for the herring fish that live in this beautiful sea. Nets of silver and gold we have, said Winkin', Blinkin' and Nod. The old man laughed and sang a song as they rocked in the wooden shoe, and the wind that sped them all night long ruffled the waves of dew. The little stars were the herring fish that lived in the beautiful sea. Now cast your nets wherever you wish, never afraid or we. So cried the stars to the fishermen 3, Winkin', Blinkin' and Nod. All night long their nests they threw to the stars in the twinkling foam. Then down from the skies came the wooden shoe, bringing the fishermen home. 'Twas all so pretty a sail it seemed as if it could not be, and some folk thought 'twas a dream they dreamed of sailing that beautiful sea. But I shall name you the fishermen 3, Winkin', Blinkin' and Nod. Winkin' and Blinkin' are 2 little eyes, and Nod is a little head, and the wooden shoe that sailed the skies is a wee one's trundle bed. So shut your eyes while mother sings of wonderful sights that be, and you shall see the beautiful things as you rock in the misty sea, where the old shoe rocked the fishermen 3, Winkin', Blinkin' and Nod. I do hope that you appreciated my poems. I didn't write them, mind you, but I thought they were rather fetching for this evening. Do pardon me. I'm feeling rather tired now. The smell of lavender. But I ought to get myself. I don't want to get changed, not when you're here. I think if I just remove some of my jewellery. I'll feel much better. Pop them in my purse. Okay, well, good night, Thee. Enjoy your sleep. I hope you don't snore too loudly. I don't snore because ladies don't snore. But if you need anything, do let me know. I'm just going to try and drift off now to sleep.